Hey guys, Tarke here, and I thought it'd be interesting to go through the latest GGG, what we're working on post, blind with you. Usually when I do these, I've really dissected it. I just thought for once it'd be interesting to do kind of a live reaction, which is very much outside my usual content. So it starts off with a bunch of hotfixes. The most recent hotfix we had did some nerfs to some of the damage output that was coming from some of the monsters, which since they've done that, I found the survivability much better. I didn't have that many issues with it, but I'm not in super high content yet. They fixed some bugs, including the sun avoidance thing, which is very nice. But let's kind of get to this little bottom section, which I haven't read through yet, which is stuff they're hoping to discuss and talk about. So there are a variety of other topics I'd like to talk about that we've listed below. Standard map conversion. Currently, so this is for standard players. Currently, if you have your maps in your old tab, upon upgrading, turn into another map that you don't have enough room for, the entire tab upgrade fails. We'll improve the system so that overflowed maps are given to you in a remove-only tab. This will mean the rest of the conversion works intended. We can't give a specific time on this just yet, but it's a priority to resolve this before 3.17 launches, and hopefully much sooner than that. I've heard a lot of complaints that standard's been feeling pretty unplayable, so I really hope they fix that desperately quickly, because for standard players, they've been talking about this one a lot. Next up, Ballista totems. There is a bug where ballistas used by totem support only have minus 40% damage taken instead of minus 80%. This will be fixed in an upcoming patch. Yeah, so people talk about the fact that Ballista totems felt super squishy and it was ruining people's league start. This kind of explains why. Hopefully an upcoming patch is the next patch and not a week from now. Crash with explosive arrow triggering summon phantasms. We're aware of this and we'll fix it. I mean, okay. Ellie overload. There's an issue where traps, mines, and totems currently have no way to take advantage of Ellie overload. Yes, I mean, I said that before the league even launched, but anyway. Cremation doesn't currently activate Ellie. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a big yikes. Oh. We have changed for this on the way. Separate there's an issue where Ellie overload is not reflected on tools for DPS. This will also be fixed. I've also heard stuff like Flame Burst isn't proccing Ellie overload. There's also issues with the way they've changed Ellie overload. Basically means that Val skills can't activate it, because if you take something like Detonate Dead, for example, Detonate Dead can proc Ellie overload, but then when you go to use Val Detonate Dead, because that counts as a separate skill, that won't have Ellie overload. Basically, the way they changed the Ellie overload just really isn't very fluid. I am very interested in Ellie overload on traps being a thing. So maybe the next iteration of Ellie overload happens this league, not in the future leagues. And yeah, if Ellie overload can be procced by traps, I'd be very curious by that. But yeah, as I said before the league even launched, I really didn't like what they did with the Ellie overload, so we'll see. Right, Scourge feedback. We've been monitoring feedback. We've been monitoring all feedback related to Scourge, and have a few improvements currently we'll outline below. We are aware that the bulk of players' feedback around Scourge revolves around the rewards it provides. We won't have any updates to provide regarding this, but we're reviewing the feedback and discussing it. Some players report it's not obvious enough when the Blood Crucible is full. We're making both the sound effect and visual effect more obvious to help with this. I mean, that's good. Nice quality of life. I wouldn't consider it a particularly high priority thing, but yeah, the better that can be fixed. Cool. We're looking at updating 2 of the possible Scourge map modifiers, specifically the Oni Shift. Yep. Yeah. If you watched my video from yesterday, you can see why that is an issue. Yes. The form modifier implies that it is activated on every row unique kill and will have description updates as well, being changed to activate more frequently. The latter model will be modified so that there's a slow Scourge blood drain over time, so there'll still be time pressure for finding bosses while having a lower blood drain from kills. That's this is still going to be an issue. So basically, if you don't know, the problem is when you get forced into shifting on full resource, you can only shift then. Is when you reach near the end of the map, you've cleared say half of the normal map, but you've cleared the entire Scourge map. What happens is you end up in a situation you've killed all the Scourge mobs, and then you're just trying to clear the rest of the map, and you keep getting force shifted over, and it has the 4-second time before you can shift out. And if you watch my video from yesterday, yeah, you just see me constantly just being forced into the zone. Having a slow drain will improve it slightly, but you're still gonna be forced to shift. They should just change it completely. No, that's yeah, no, don't like that. Is that the only thing for Scourge? They talk about the reward feedback and that. Okay, so for me personally, what I would do for Scourge, Scourging maps is cool. It needs to be sped up. If we look at my current Scourge juice, so I have this now nearly Scourged 7 times, random tier 5 map. This has basically been like a project from the entire day of playing. And yes, at the end of like this session, depending on how much more I play, I will get to run a big, cool Scourged 10 times map, maybe even tomorrow's session. But like with the average amount of like only getting to play a couple of hours a night here and there, if they don't speed up Scourging maps, at least for like the early tiers, I can't talk about tier 16 Scourging yet because I haven't gotten up to that point yet because I've been playing quite casually. Yeah, you'll have people who they can't do a Scourge 10 times map until, you know, they've been playing for an entire week, and you can be like, okay, but if we speed it up, then we need to nerf the rewards because it's like the rewards are tied so heavily into it. I think the way to go about it is like, instead of, because what I think they're probably going to do is they're going to do some like dumb stuff because people are saying there's not enough currency dropping. I think it's fine that you have all the crazy currency and all the crazy rewards tied into the Scourge maps, but then you just make Scourging maps much quicker. So you can see like every rare that we kill will drop 2 Scarabs, 2 tainted currency items, 2 additional uniques, and it still has 4 more tiers. And if you don't know, every time you upgrade it, it's more likely to upgrade a current existing thing. So we could get like up to 6 additional Scarabs. We'll almost definitely in the next 4 upgrades get at least a 1 upgrade to the Scarabs and at least a 1 upgraded to the tainted currency items. So that's like every rare we kill drops 3 Scarabs, 3 tainted currency items, like 2 to 3 uniques. Like that's insane. And if it takes like 10 hours to reach that point and you get these insane payouts, I guess that's kind of okay. But at the same time, again, it's just a very backloaded league. They need to make it slightly less backloaded, and the best way of doing that really is just speeding up the rate at which we Scourge our items. So I think that's the main thing they really need to look into. And if on that note, they could also make sure that when you get a item to tier 3, I think we should be able to Scourge items 4 times, because we currently only have 3 Scourges. So you get up to tier 3 and you're stuck on that. Like you can't change it again. Having the option of a 4th Scourge means that when you get it to tier 3, you can say, okay, do we stick with this tier 3 or do you roll it again? Because it's like in the case of you have like a Chaos Dot Bow, you finally get it to tier 3 and your tier 3 mod is deal no chaos damage, the bow just doesn't function. So it's like nothing to do there. But anyway. Missing patch notes. In our patch notes, we unfortunately missed 2 notes. One related to armor-based shields and one related to the Veiled Modified Damage Time Bowcraft. Yeah, they nerfed it. This is really frustrating. So yeah, so they gave an additional tier to quivers to kind of make up for the lost thing, but like, it's really annoying they missed it. So I thought this was a bug. I reported this like day 1, because it's like a really big deal. And I get like it happens, and it's fine for stuff to slip through the net. It's just a little frustrating that it happened on one of the most like defining slots for Chaos Dot Bows, which is kind of a popular archetype, especially in this league, you know, because everyone's playing Toxic Rain. But anyway, it happens. Humans are humans. So just briefly to recap, the standard map thing is disappointing for the standard players. The fact that it's just like, the fact they say we hope to get it solved before 3.17, I'd be a bit worried about that. The Ellie Overload thing, I really just like the way they changed Ellie Overload. If we can get it on traps, could be cool. Especially since we have this whole thing of like, they're trying to push Burning Ground Fire Trap, but there's no way of boosting that up and you can't go crit with it. It's just like, again, as soon as we saw the changes, I said it was dumb, but it's like, it didn't feel like there was much. This league very much feels like a symptom of the podcast. So what I mean by that is, and I think Chris even said this himself, it feels like when they had the panic last league and they did that like month of intense interviews and Chris did all the podcasts, and then it was like, okay, we've done all the podcasts, especially the final podcast with Gazzy, Tuna, and Grimro, and there was like, okay, we need to put all this emphasis on like new aspirational Uber content. It felt like a bunch of content that was meant to ship in 3.17 I feel like the Masters was a 3.17 feature, but like a bunch of things which was meant to ship in 3.17 stuff, which wasn't meant to ship at all, got like rushed into this league, and now this league had just so much going on that things got kind of rushed through the gate a bit. Just my intention, not my intention, just my thoughts. Because it's like the Elliot overlay stuff didn't feel very well thought through. Like it feels like one of those things that you could have quite quickly gone, well, what about this, 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 and this? Like it's just like, yeah. Likewise with some of the modifiers, like the shift on kill thing, is like you only play it once and you can see there's the issue. It very much feels like this league kind of like I really like this league, for the record. Like I've been having a lot of fun with it. I was having some performance issues. I managed to fix my performance issues. People who watched my last video. Basically, I changed from DX11 to Vulcan to DX7 to Vulcan, from DX7 to Vulcan, and I think I'm currently now on Vulcan. It seems to be running okay. It feels like every other league, Vulcan is trash performance. I have to play DX7, and the next league DX7 is trash, and I have to play on Vulcan. It's like I swap between the two constantly, even within the same league, just like on a patch by patch basis. It's really weird, but anyway, it's a side point. Yeah, curious to see what they do here. Let me know what you would like to see them change about the league. Try and be slightly more specific and slightly more useful than just make it not bad, duh. Because there's nothing that can be done with that feedback. But yes, I'm Tarke. Have a great day. I am exhausted still, by the way. I had my third COVID jab today, so I'm all 5G'd up, and I'm feeling a bit bleh. So yeah. Hoping to hit you with, sorry, just final thing. Hoping to hit you with a proper like build update in Reds by the weekend. I'm hoping by then I'll be feeling slightly more normal. And I do want to just briefly apologize if my league content has been up to snuff so far. I felt like I've been letting you down. But anyway, I'm Tarke. Have a great day. Bye-bye.